How's it going, you guys? So today in this video, I want to talk about the most important thing that you can do to maximize your health and your happiness in your life as far as your mindset is concerned, okay? So listen, I've always been very, very big on authenticity, right? And, you know, that whole thing about being who you really are and being your true self, there's a lot of questions to be asked about that. There's a lot of holes to pick in that because, you know, the biggest question you can ask about the true self is, if the true self exists, where does the true self exist? If I get brain damage and my personality completely changes and I have no memory of who I was before and I turn to a completely different person, am I still my true self? What if I become brain dead, right? And I'm still slightly functional, but my brain isn't working very well. You know, where's my true self? Is my true self separate from my body now? If I lose my memory, if I get brain damage and my personality changes and I develop a new persona, did my true self change, or has my true self floated out of my body and gone into another world or something, and now we got two true selves? The true self that has taken over my body, and then the true self that flew away. Where does the true self lie? Where does the true self lie? I think a lot of people, they have this idea of who they are, and they assume that that is how they always have been, that's how they always will be, and they mistake their self-image for their true self. The fact is, this is a fallacy. If you really think about all this, okay, the soul, you know, the true self, it's hard to believe it exists when you think about this in reality. Okay, when you think about what I just explained. Most people want to believe that they can live forever and that their soul moves on, and maybe it does, but we don't know. And it's very hard, if you want to believe in the afterlife, it's very hard to think about the true self the way I'm talking about it. But for me at least, I feel like this idea of authenticity is actually not as helpful as I thought. Back in 2015, I thought that, you know, if I really want to like live my happiest and best self, you know, my best life, I've got to just like be authentic and go with the flow. But what I'm starting to feel like is, you know, maybe there's a way to do that and experience the best life ever, like live life from your heart. But I think that there's a big misconception on what that actually means. Because a lot of people, their authentic self is anger. Like you know, yelling at their girlfriend, yelling at their partner. The authentic self is like just getting angry and expressing it. Maybe that anger is how you really feel, but I mean, if you're an angry person all the damn time, maybe you need to start to reflect on your habits. Maybe you need to change your habits, right? I think the most important thing for people to start with is discipline. Recognizing that we are not a fixed entity. We are not, you know, we are not who we think we are, okay? We are whoever we are, we're who we're becoming, always. Because the moment changes every millisecond, okay? Every trillisecond. You know, the moment keeps changing, and through every moment you're becoming something new. Right now, I could literally turn off this camera and become a runner and go running. I'm different now. If I'm yelling at my partner, and I've always yelled at my partner, if I'm a really angry person, I can literally change that in the moment, but I have to choose to stop yelling. I have to choose to stop being angry. This is important, and if you know, a lot of people, they don't understand, so they're gonna say that this is different and this is, you know, blah blah blah. But you gotta really sit down and reflect on this, okay? It's very important. You know, you're always going to be the same as long as you think that, you know, that's all you can be. If you believe you can improve, if you believe you can be something different, that's the only way you can be something different. You can never cure a disease if you don't believe it's possible. If you believe that your disease is incurable, you're never going to look for a cure. You're never going to try to cure it. If you believe that your relationship is impossible, you're never going to try to improve it. If you believe that you're just a lazy person and there's no way you'll ever be able to change, this is just who you are, you're never going to have any hope of changing it. But all the people who've ever achieved anything in the world, okay, they have a lot of different things, a lot of differences, but the main commonality is that they recognize taking action and becoming something more. That's the main difference. Okay? The law of attraction is one thing, but it's not a commonality between everyone. Some people believe in it, some people don't. Some people believe that it's God, other people don't. The point is, though, it's all about possibilities and believing it's possible, and then going, taking action on those possibilities. Within your psyche, within yourself, you have to see beyond who you currently are to become better than who you currently are. If you believe like that, oh, you have nothing to offer in a relationship, then you're going to act as if you have nothing better to give in the relationship. But only until you can start to see that you deserve so much more, that you can achieve so much more. That's the only way you're ever going to achieve more. It really does start with your own psychology. Everything in life does. If you believe that you're always going to be depressed, you're unlikely to ever rise above that depression. Okay? It's not a spiritual thing. It's not a magic thing. It's not like, oh, just believe in you can achieve it. It's how the brain works. It's the reticular activating system. You can program it using mantras, affirmations. You can program your belief system or your reticular activating system through the information you read. If you're always reading information about how the world is racist, you're always going to see evidence the world is racist. And confirmation bias is, all that is your reticular activating system. Literally, we can only see what we want to prove to be true. Really. So if you're experiencing bad results in your life, it's because you're only looking for evidence to back up those bad circumstances. You have to see beyond that. You have to strive beyond that. It's all about where you are and where you're going. And you're going somewhere. You got to stop the momentum and turn it in the better direction. Okay? You've got to continuously, every single day, you got to constantly work towards a better direction. As long as you're doing it, and you have to keep doing that. And maybe it won't help. You know what? It will. You'll always be in a better situation if you force your momentum in that way. And it's not just, change my thoughts, change my life. No. Everything. Act. Force yourself to act. Force yourself to make videos. Force yourself to become a better person. Force yourself to do it. I used to think, being so strict on myself is causing anxiety. Actually, now I look back at things, I wasn't being strict. I was being hard on my thoughts, but I wasn't being hard in action. You got to take hard action. You've got to force your actions. You got to force yourself to become better. Okay? Your emotions, they matter, but that doesn't mean that. But you can't let your emotions guide you. If you look at most people who are they have bad circumstances in their life, a lot of it's because they've acted on bad emotions and they have never tried to rise above their bad emotions. It's like, they were angry, so they yelled at their boss, so they lost their job. They were angry, so they yelled at their girlfriend, so they lost their relationship. They felt depressed, so they never got a job because they felt hopeless. So they never strived to make anything better of themselves because they just felt so sorry for themselves. And they're constantly taking action based on, I don't feel like recording videos. I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like getting a job. I don't feel like making something better. Those feelings are there, but you don't have to let them control you. So it's not a matter of, ignore my feelings. It's a matter of, acknowledge your feelings are there, but don't act on them. Okay? Disciplining yourself in that way. because your emotions are always going to be fluctuating. But you don't have to let them influence your decisions in life, really. If you feel like doing something violent or something bad, if you feel like doing it, if you do it, bad things will happen to you. Okay? You can make a choice. You can feel all these feelings but not act on them. The more you act on your emotions, the more you will act on your emotions. You've got to have the habit of, like, it's a very simple thing, just don't act on your emotions. Change your behavior, like, behave differently than your emotions. Your life will improve. You're not your emotions. You're not a fixed entity. You're not authentic self. You're constantly evolving. Your evolution, that's what you are. Evolution is not fixed. It is not, oh, that's just who I am. Evolution is, okay, I'm this, and I'm improving, I'm changing. You are never going to be just, this is who I am. You're either going to be, this is who I'm becoming, or this is who I'm becoming. Okay? You're going down or you're going up. You're going somewhere. You're never staying the same. Sometimes you might feel stuck in life. Sometimes you might feel like you're not going anywhere. You're going somewhere. Always. So consciously direct that direction. Absolutely. Okay? If you believe that in the authentic self and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go with the flow, look, man, you're going to go somewhere and you're not going to have any, you're going to wish that you would have directed yourself. Your thoughts are patterns. Autopilot will go wherever. And the less you discipline your mind, the less you discipline your actions, the more your situation will influence that. If someone starts yelling at you, you'll yell at them back. Something bad will happen. You lose your job, who knows what will happen. If you really want to be safe, the only safe place you have is a disciplined mind. Autopilot, going with the flow, man. Letting the universe take me wherever. Okay? There's a time and place for believing in the universe, right? The universe will help you do what you need to do. It'll give you situations that tell you where to go. But it's up to you to capitalize on that. If you lose your job, the universe is telling you you need to change something, or things will continue to go a certain way. It's not really the universe telling you something. It's that you govern your mind. Your brain creates reality, is what's happening. Your brain is creating reality. Okay? And the choices you make are directly influenced by the thoughts you think. And the choices you make create situations in the world. Absolutely. In your day-to-day experience, you're creating things. So what happens is you're creating things. Situations are created in life, and if they're bad, that means that what you're thinking and how you're behaving is creating those bad. Is creating this. If you don't like what you're creating, it's time to reflect on what you're doing. What you're doing, you need to change things. You need to change momentum into another direction. Okay? Things need to change. There's power in this. This is where your power lies. If you really want to live your best life, the power is in evolution. Evolution is the only constant. Okay? This is empowering, knowing that people come and go. Knowing that the only constant in life is that nothing stays the same. There is no constant. That's where your power lies. Because that's how you can change your life for the better. You're always moving. You're always moving. Move towards something good. Leave your questions and comments down below. Let me know what you think about this. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.